Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night. Where tonight, for the final round of season 30 of Sunday Night Lights, we're coming to you from Virginia International Raceway. The shorter layout here, where we hang a big right hand up the uphill in the middle of the circuit. We've got 17, did I count, of the best drivers going around to round out this season, Corey, and a fantastic night of racing ahead of us once again, no doubt.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And a 46.60 strength of field as well to wrap up the season. Not the greatest strength of field, but I'm sure the quality will speak absolute volumes to absolutely cap off the end of the season here.
For sure. Let's do a quick run through our field. We'll start with car number 2 here tonight because Adam Miles is the top seeded driver, but he's not on track yet, so we can't grab a look at him. Rasmus Fiori, great to see the Flying Finn back on track. Gentleman and a scholar when it comes to his racing. He will be right up there in the mix. Super fast here, super fast everywhere. Also very heady, very smart driver in how he races the car. Looking forward to see how he goes tonight. Car number 3, similarly, like Miles, is Christian Perez. Funnily, our two front runners. The championship still up for grabs here tonight between Miles and Perez. Neither of them on the track at the moment, looking to leave their run till the end. But that leaves us to car number 4 tonight, 5 p.m. Oval Martine. The Italian driver of Dario Frattini. Brett McVerney is the leading of the ANZ drivers here tonight. For McFlabby Racing is car number 5. Dimitri Philippides, the international man of mystery himself. The other Oval Martine driver is car number 6. Car number 7, Captain 499. For Respectful Hornets Incorporated, apparently, is Neil Gardner. He's car number 7. Car number 8, Alex Steinbrucken from Team Baracus. I had a lesson on how to pronounce his name, and I'm sure I still butchered it. Anyway, he's car number 8 out there tonight. Car number 9, head clown himself from ANZ, Mr. Vasco Sorofsky, just ahead of Xavier Sanchez. He's car number 10. He's from Spain. And joining us once again, he's become a bit of a regular here on a Sunday night. Starts sometimes up near the back and then drives his way through the field, usually in spectacular fashion, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be one to watch if he doesn't get a good qualifying effort in. But coming in as car number 11 is one of the newer of the team clown drivers, Mr. Mark Lay. It's great to see Mark out there once again. Coming up as car number 12 is Team Milo boss man, Mr. Russell Clark from Oz NZ. We got Alex Herter from Iberia as lucky car number 13 here tonight. It's great to see Alex out there once more. Chris Wayne as our 14th plated car, and he is representing the UK and I. We've got Gregory Adams, another clown driver. We've got a shudder of clowns out on the track from Oz NZ in car number 15. And then we got two 2.6K drivers who've just snuck in here, Alex. The 16-plated Gerald Draper from UK and I, and Brian Perez, who was up very, very early in the morning from Texas as car number 17.
Yeah, Mr. Apex Professionals is the team. Of course, he races in the Sunday Night Skippy League over in the US. Fan favourite over there. And streams as well. You can check him out on Twitch, as you can with a couple of our drivers here tonight, including Philippides and sometimes even Mr. Frattini. But our top-seeded driver, Adam Miles, is now out on track. Adam is pretty much, he's got to drop it on the front row, pole, get the bonus point, and then win the race. And with drop rounds in play, he might be putting Mr. Perez, who's car number 2 out there on track at the moment for Astro Racing Team, under pressure. Perez comes in with a 7-point lead, and to arrest or negate that lead, Miles needs pole and to win the race pretty much. And if Perez finishes second or better, it's all over Red Rover. Having said that, at the moment, Rasmus Fiori pops it on pole provisionally with a 1:35.4, Corey. That's dead set flying around here in quali.
Yeah, and I was just watching Neil Gardner. He's a little bit offset to everyone else. He snuck up into P2 there And Dario Frattini about to finish his second lap. What does he get? Gets a 1:35.1 on his second lap there. Alex putting him up on provisional pole.
Absolutely fantastic drive, but all eyes will be on Miles, who is coming around to finish his second lap shortly. So he's got to beat a 35.1 to grab that point for pole. I'm also keeping an eye on Perez. Where's he at the minute? He's a little bit behind. So let's see what Miles has got first. He's going to come across the line now. He's pinning his championship hopes on this one. Crosses the line now. Oh, where's he gone? Where's he gone? I can't even spot him.
He's only P8, Alex.
P8. Shattered. And that pretty much dashes his hopes, almost. And Perez puts a further nail in the coffin by dropping it on the second row. And that's pretty much all the laps out there, Corey. So Dario Frattini ahead of VIR, Steinbrocken and Perez. Gardner showing the pace that he's had all week. Only 4 100ths, if I'm not mistaken, off the... oh, no, not even. Beg your pardon, 2.5 tenths off the pole sitter tonight. That's about as good a qualifying effort as we've seen out of Gardner ever, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. He's stayed there in P5, which is definitely one of his better efforts, as you said. Hopefully he can translate that into some good results as the race continues on, because this is going to be one of those difficult, really technical, but you can still make a run to the line kind of tracks, Alex.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Now, Perez and Miles are still out there running their laps. Perez not choosing to do the warm-up race tonight, perhaps just getting a few more miles under the belt, so to speak. And Adam Miles himself rounding the final corner, shortening the distance there, just practicing those lines as he runs in to close out the session. Of course, these cool-down laps don't typically, well, they don't count towards qualifying times, but oh, I beg your pardon, I've counted it wrong. Look at this, Corey. We've counted it wrong and Miles has dobbed it on pole. How's that? A late run at the line, mate. Oh, Perez has done it though. Perez has got the pole. Wow, how about that, Corey? That's the championship just decided right there in the last little bit.
Oh, that's just absolutely incredible. I wasn't expecting them to both not have done their second lap yet. These guys making fools out of us here, Alex.
Well, you cross the line as you exit the pits, so the telemetry reads it as an extra lap, which has confused us all. But that there is the championship race just run a fantastic way. Anyway, let's go check out the grid for tonight's big one. Christian Perez for Astro Team Racing with a 35 flat in quali, if you don't mind. Dobbs it on pole, some 8 100ths ahead of Adam Miles from UK&I, who joins him on the front row. Dario Frattini starts out a third for FPM Oval Team. Alongside him on the second row will be Rasmus VIR from Finland. Alex Steinbrocken from Team Baracus starts out a fifth tonight. Out of 6 off the grid will be Respectful Hornets Incorporated. The captain 499, Mr. Neil Gardner. Brett McBurney from McFlabby Racing out of 7th tonight. Alongside him, the head clown, Vasco Sorosky, starts out at 8th. Starting on the 5th row tonight in P9 will be Dimitri Filipides for FPM Oval Martin. Alongside him will be Xavier Sanchez from Spain. Alex Herte from Iberia out of 11th. Alongside him, the other clown in the race, or one of the other clowns in the race. We say that in all due respect, and is Mark Lay. Starting out of 13th tonight will be Russell Clark III, head team boss man of Team Milo. Greg Adams, the final clown in the field, starts out of 14th. 15th tonight, the lone gone skipping racing driver, Chris Wayne. Brian Perez for Mixed Apex Professionals starts out of 16th, and Gerald Draper for UK&I starts as the final starter on out of P17 tonight, Corey. 15 laps ahead of us. Plenty of excitement, mate. Looking forward to a massive night ahead of us. What do you say?
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. As I said, this is a very technical track, even with the updates that have been made to it. The track is a little wider in places, but it's still a very narrow, very technical track with only really the one drafting opportunity along the front straight. So turn 1 is probably where we're going to see most of the overtakes happen as the revs start to rise. The red lights mean rev, and the green lights mean go, as Fred the Flag Marshal, for the final time in season 30, vigorously waves his green flag over the field, and we make the run down into turn 1, which is advantage Perez right now, but Adam Miles still on his outside, trying to make something work early in the laps, Alex.
Yeah, and they're streaming in some cases 2x2. Great to see a shudder of clowns in the field rather than on the sidelines tonight. And they're the fourth one who could have has been hip and shoulder there. Miles gets his way through as they come down to the left hook out of NASCAR this time round, and then exit into the snake for the first time, first of 15 times here tonight. And Miles is out in front, just how he wanted it. But all Perez has got to do really is finish the race here. If he gets into P2, he actually scores points. It's the only way he progresses his points tonight is to finish first or second. That's what sort of season he's had, Corey.
Yeah, the season that Perez has had has been absolutely incredible. We were talking just before the broadcast, and his 2 drop rounds is a DNF and a 3rd place, which absolutely blows my mind, because when else has that ever happened in our history, Alex?
Yeah, crazy stuff. He's had a fantastic season. Perez had 4 or 5 wins, I think, this season out of his 7 races, and the other 2 a podium and a DNF. So pretty tough score to beat. And in fact, I think with that pole position, he might have just locked it up. But I'll have to do the points in a little bit, as we see Frattini now looking to put pressure on the Spaniard. And coming down into turn 1, although the draft has helped Perez, and he's up alongside Miles now, getting side by side once again through turn 1, as you said, and as you alluded to, Corey. Turn 1 being the primary passing opportunity on this track, as the cars stream through once again. They are flowing through this opening couple of sectors. You see the wider exit there at NASCAR Bend at turn 3, really changing the driving lines through there and opening up for fast flowing action, as it's actually a driver's favourite for a lot of folks. Free track now. Participation historically has been woeful, but the racing here has been amazing this week.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. The couple of little tweaks and changes that they made to the track to bring it to be more up to date with the real life version has definitely provided some excellent racing here this week. I even went out and did a few laps myself, and historically this is a track that I absolutely despised, but I could see myself running around here a little bit, as long as I don't have to deal with this particular corner, which is the roller coaster. I still just can't get that one figured out properly, Alex.
Yeah, mate, it's a tough one. Now, our debutant Gerald Draper looks to have had an incident back in the field. Let's see what happens here. All on his lonesome, coming into the first corner. And the rear tries to become the, and it does indeed become the front. Unlucky for Gerald there. Easy to do in the braking zone there, particularly depending on how you set your bias up. Now, speaking of running into turn 1, Miles used the draft full effect, pulls out as we get 2x2. He makes the move on Perez, his championship rival. As 2x2, they go through the turn 1 again. Very, very interesting opening to this circuit in particular. Inside and outside turn 1 doesn't really matter. When you've got the skill of these guys, you can actually run, and we've seen it a few times this week, side by side all the way through these opening sectors. Here at the left hook, then round through 5 and 5A down out through the snake. I've seen them go side by side all the way to the exit of the snake here, and then you've immediately got another shot at the title if you want to make an overtake into turn 7 here at the uphill. And you can see it's not till very late that drivers move over to the left off the defensive inside line, just in case they come under attack there, Corey. Fascinating opening half of the circuit, and then, as you say, you face the uphill challenge through all the twists and turns here until you get to 14 and 14A at the roller coaster. As the drivers approach there now, they move over to the left-hand side, open it up, swing back around through the roller coaster to get it tight through the apex, and then you come down the hill here on the run down to the hog pen at the final corner. Most guys take it either in 3rd or 4th. A lot of guys choosing to take 4th gear through the hog pen final, sort of drop down into it there to maintain the speed Whereas these guys here, speaking of speed, beautiful draft there from Perez to move into the front. Now I've seen Adam Miles defend very strongly. This time he decides to let it go. Meanwhile in the background, Swarovski battling away with the new Hornet livery of Neil Gardner. Mark Ley and Herté going side by side meanwhile through the same position. That's going to cost them an attack from behind. Chris Wayne looking to get involved there, Corey.
Yeah, he is, Alex. The battling going on all through this field is quite intense right now, which is not usually too typical of these early laps. Normally everyone, once they get into a position, kind of settles down, but then the drafting nature of that front straight really just lends these guys to go for moves early. And I reckon if people start getting aggressive enough, we're going to see some people starting to shed a couple of tears here and there, because the way that they battle on that front straight, it's almost like the Nürburgring in ways. When we're going down the big back straight on the Nordschleife, you can almost get draft back if you let the person in front of you, if you let the person behind you go fast enough. So it's just one of those kinds of tracks where, you know, there can be a lot of strategy at play, but it can also get pretty dangerous if you just put one small foot wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big long train at the moment, all the way back to Sanchez in P9. He is just hanging on to draft there. He's about 8 tenths behind Philippides, who's a long way back. Had some good pace here, but has struggled towards the end of the week. Meanwhile, up front, the championship rivals in Miles and Perez go side by side once again. Fiore will have something to say about it too, as up the inside as well comes Steinbrücken, who's going up the inside once again of Viore, trying to move forward in this pack. They're almost 3 wide as they run through the opening sector. This time Viore will have the inside run. Herté and Ley have both gone off track at turn 1, I think it was. Let's go have a look. Yeah, deep braking by Herté, and they've just bumped and grinded their way off the exit of turn 1. I imagine there'll be some interesting words between those two going on. Meanwhile, up front, it's a string of skippies, which at the moment, I think Gardner, yeah, Swarovski still hanging on there. He's 7 tenths behind and still count him as part of the front pack, but only just, Corey.
Yeah, he's going to have to put in a big effort here to try and close up this gap a little bit, because if he doesn't, these top 6, they're just going to absolutely pull away. And, you know, that's just the level of competition that we got here. These guys are the best of the best that we could assemble for the racing action here tonight. And, you know, when you've got 8K drivers, 7.2K drivers, 7.1K drivers, you know, they know what they're doing. They know how to make speed out of just about anything. And if they can get a little hint of a gap, then they're absolutely going to take that for as long as they can. And you see the gap here between Perez and Miles. It's about 3 tenths of a second, and very quickly closing as they start reaching the start-finish line. And as I was saying before, Alex, this is one of those tracks where you can have a drag race to the line, but you're not going to do it with 3 tenths coming out of the hog pen.
Oh, Frattini there locked up big time under brakes there. Steinbrücken behind him trying to take advantage, but not quite able to. As almost 2 by 2, they're kind of staggered, almost like a grid-like formation there as they come through the left-hander at NASCAR Bend at turn 3 at the start of lap 6. Through the left hook now, back through 5 and 5A, back out onto the snake, which is aptly named given the apparent curves there, but it's actually pretty much straight lining it in these and most other cars, to be honest. But as we come through the uphill once again at turn 7, it is Miles leading the way from Perez. Perez has to do a little more than hang on to that position. I think he may have even secured the championship with pole here tonight in a spectacular finish to qualifying. The points will be tallied at the end, but at the moment it's Perez under all sorts of pressure from Viore behind, just perhaps managing the gap to Miles in front to make or take full advantage of the draft up the straight, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And it's all about what kind of a drive you can get out of that final corner and down the front straight. See on Adam Miles there going on the right, getting very defensive. He's not wanting to let them have the inside. If they're going to get around them, they're going to go around the outside. And speaking of going around them on the outside, Here comes Frattini trying to take over third. At the same time, we've got a battle going on for the lead. 2 by 2, we go through the horseshoe, and these guys are going to show their skills now, Alex, as we're going to go side by side through the NASCAR bend.
And side by side they continue as they go in and out the other side. Oh, look at the movement there, the lateral movement. Oh, Viore holds beautiful line there on the outside. Equally so was Frattini. But what that's going to cost them potentially is the front two, as they're lining up, and they're also lining up behind to try and come through. Gardner now looking on the outside of turn 7, the uphill. Very tough to do it round there. The orange car of Steinbrook not really wanting to give up that spot. Side by side they continue through twists and turns through the uphill sector towards the roller coaster. This time it'll be Gardner relegated to the outside of the approach to the roller coaster. What can he do? Oh, big lock up from Gardner, the inside right. But how have they done that, Corey? They managed to go through 2 by 2 from turn 7, and they haven't finished yet. Yes, they have. Gardner gets it done around the outside of every corner of the planet, and he managed to get it done. What a fantastic run of quarters that was.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. But what that has done is that has severely, made these guys disadvantaged. There's a 1.8 second gap now between these guys and Frattini, but 3 wide we're going to go into the horseshoe this time, as Vasco decided that he wanted to go up through the middle, but he's going to give it to Gardner this time coming out of the horseshoe. Gardner's going to hold on, and Philippides is now all the way down in 7th, battling with Steenbruggen.
Wow, that's a big move by the head clown, looking to retain that title for this season. As side by side now we've got Steinbrücken and Philippides, the other Ovaltine driver there, with Xavier Sanchez all over the back of him, trying to go side by side. They've managed to get it sorted, but up front now, it is a much calmer sort of picture as we see Perez, Miles, Viore and Frattini now off to the races, so to speak. Gardner has now managed to get himself a little bit of space. He's up one position from where he qualified and is now being chased by an angry pack of buzzing Skippy drivers there, led by the head clown Vasco Sorowski. Brett McBurney lost 3 positions in this one. He's down in 10th. Chris Wayne driving a bit on his own as well. But look at this pack here, led by Brian Perez. You got Herté Lay. You got Team Bossman for Team Milo, Russell Clark, Greg Adams in there, 2 clowns with them in a Milo sandwich there, or a Milo sandwich between 2 clowns, I should say. And believe it or not, this is all at the tail of the field, this racing here. You got Perez leading in the best, but it's the race for the final point scoring position in SNL here tonight. Now, what have we lost? Perez is now on the back of this one. Perez, there's all sorts of changes gone on through turn 1, and Perez is now in P4 with his championship rival Adam Miles out in the lead, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. It was just a nice calm overtake for Adam Miles on Perez, and then Perez just got stuck on the outside going through the horseshoe, and he just thought, I'm not going to try and squeeze my way into one of these gaps. I'm just going to fall to the back and bide my time. But I also noticed that Neil Gardner has been pulling away from Vasco. There is a huge gap right now between the 7 and the 9 cars. Yeah,
just over a second, just out of draft range. It looks to be quite a lot more than that, but that's about where it is at the moment. Let's go check out that overtake for the lead through the last time round. And you see Adam Miles goes up the inside into turn 1. He moves to cover off Perez, and Viore comes up the inside. And as you say, yeah, Perez just got a little bit balked. Perhaps wasn't expecting Viore and then just gave it up and lives to fight another day. As we go back to live pictures now, Adam Miles now coming under pressure from Viore, with Frattini similarly looking to use the draft to full effect. Makes it 3 wide into turn 1 for the lead. We're only on lap 10, folks. And look at the old stager. Perez in the background, just biding his time. Meanwhile, behind, we got 2 and 3 wide. Philippides, looks like he almost gets a nudge from Steinbrocken as Sorowski goes through and retains that P6 up a couple from where he started, Corey.
Yeah, that's right. I'm stuck with this front battle because they're still side by side. Is Miles and Frattini. They were 3 wide going through turn 1, as I mentioned before, and Viore and Frattini looked like they were going to start battling it out for second, but somehow Frattini just found that little bit extra going into the NASCAR bend and stayed side by side with Adam Miles. Is now side by side they go once more for turn 7 as they start going through the uphill. And it looks like Adam Miles is going to take the advantage right now, but are they going to go side by side as well? No, they're going to single file out this time as we move through turn 10 into 11 and 12, heading up towards the roller coaster. This battle for the lead starting to get intense, Alex, but with just about 5 laps to go, this is when we usually see the intensity start to pick up.
Absolutely, mate. That's the exact scenario we talked about, where the action at turn 1 leads all the way through to the uphill, where defense was required from Miles once again. And you see Perez just dropping back a little bit. Perhaps he knows that he's got the championship under his belt. It'll be his second SNL championship in the last few. And this time the run now, the main battle up front is between Frattini and Miles. Miles gets the defense for this lap underway. And the exit of turn 1 comes over to cover off Frattini this time, leaves the door open. Remarkably, you described the door being open on the outside, but it can be through this first sector. But they've managed to go line astern with the Astro Racing Team car behind Perez just cruising around almost. Gardner now still in that island in between the front pack and the tertiary pack here, led by the head clown Vasco Sorosky, who gets so easy to do there. Hang on to that, Sorosky does. And Sanchez now looking to put all sorts of pressure into the uphill turn 7. Are they going to go? They're not going to go 4 wide into this quarter, surely. Surely not. No, they don't. 2 wide's probably enough. Steinbrocken looking to take advantage of Sorosky's mistake through turn 5A. And it's going to cost him. It's cost him 1 already. Will it cost him 2? No, it looks like the 8 car of Steinbrocken has pulled out of that attack and left Sorosky to continue. Meanwhile, up front, they're still line astern in a pack of 4. Adam Miles looking to take out what would be, after not winning a race in all the time he's been doing them, if he gets this one, it'll be 4 in a season, Corey. Only bettered by Perez, who's got 5, if you can believe it. So these two certainly the ones to beat in the championship this season.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. They've both been the informed drivers for the entire season. And also, too, has Frattini. He hasn't been getting as many wins. He did get his first one this season as well. But, he's been very consistent and very consistently sitting up towards the front. Not as consistently as what Miles or Perez have. But he's definitely worth, just sticking into the conversation for maybe having a crack at it next season.
Absolutely, mate. Now, I think I have spotted Perez and Lay. What's going on in the back here? Perez and Lay coming into turn 1. It'll be in the braking zone there. You see Clark coming up the inside, and it just turned across him. Oh, there's a massive pile up. We've lost a couple of clowns, a Milo, and Perez. They've all come a cropper there. That's all racing over P12. That's unfortunate. Meanwhile, back up front for the lead, we've got Frattini out front now for the first time in the race, with 3 to go when they cross the line this time round. Corey, what's the early wager on? Who's got your money?
Honestly, it's going to be hard to look past Miles on this one. He's just got the pace right now. He knows what he's got to do. He's probably realised that he's going to be out of the championship, but he definitely wants to add a 4th win to his tally.
Yeah, very good. When it comes to the racing part of things, depends. If he wants it enough, my money's always on Perez as he looks to go around the outside, makes it 2 by 2. Noah's Ark style through turn 1. They're desperately trying to make it 3 wide there. And you see Perez really starting to, he hung back for so long for a couple of laps there. He's really, Miles just really pushing. You see Perez though in the background really starting to push the point. It's not the easiest track to pass on, And particularly when you're 4 cars back, the draft is one thing, but when you're in a draft lock train like this, it can be difficult to move forward, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex, especially if you are the 4th car, as you mentioned. You can see the 2nd and the 3rd cars gain a huge advantage to the draft, but generally, if you're the 4th car, you kind of get blocked off a little bit, especially once they go 3 wide. So Perez will want to make at least an overtake on Frattini if he wants to try and have a chance at this race. But the more that they battle back there for the 3rd position, the more chance also that Miles and Viori could pull away here from them. We saw a little bit in that little exchange that they had going through NASCAR, that Adam Miles was starting to build that little bit of gap while they were side by side behind him. But once they single filed out, they definitely caught him back up again. But with only just the sum of 2 laps to go, Alex, this is where they're definitely going to have to start putting their money where their mouths are.
Yeah, let's see what the story is and the price we pay this time round as Viori leads him across the line. Oh, he's thought about coming across there briefly. As 3 wide they go. Can they get it sorted? A little bit of contact there. It looked briefly, but 3 wide start to finish through turn 1. They exit 3 wide. Similarly, they've got it down to 2 wide as they come into the NASCAR bend, and Miles comes underneath looking to make it 3 wide briefly once again. How do they get that sorted? They're still 2 wide everywhere on this circuit. 3 in a row around the left-hand side of the circuit, but still 2 by 2. It's like Frattini was switching who he was side by side with through the different parts of the corners. Now Viori only opening up into the uphill turn 7 once they approach the turn-in zone. They're still line astern as they keep progressing here. And there's a bit of 2 by 2 behind as well, as the head clown Vasco Sorosky leads them out of the uphill. Xavier Sanchez and Steinbrücken trying to get it done behind, and side by side with them, Filippides trying to get some work done as well on Steinbrücken as they come over the crest towards the roller coaster this time round, and Filippides gets it done. His teammate, of course, still up front in the battle for the win, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And as we're coming to the final lap now, this is where everything is going to be on the table. It's going to be white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it for our top 4. And here goes Adam Miles. He's going to try and send it for the lead. And Frattini at the middle. We got 4 wide on the front straight, heading into turn number 1. How is this going to go? There's contact. I don't think someone realised that they were 4 wide. And look at that, Perez went from 4th to 1st as they got to the first corner, Alex, but still 3 wide as they come into NASCAR bend.
Oh, that's an Astro sandwich there between Viori and Frattini. What did I tell you? He'd find a way to do it, and he's done it. The Astro Racing team, Christian Perez, has come out in front of all that. His chief rival, Adam Miles, in 4th, and they're finally line astern. Meanwhile, that secondary pack is still trying to sort themselves out side by side. Oh, Sanchez is off into the wilderness almost. He won't recover from there, and it's down to Sorosky now. Back up front, Miles looking to move forward on the inside of Viori through the uphill. They've kind of got it sorted. Miles is still pushing. He'll have the inside at the roller coaster if he can get there, but it's Perez still leading from Frattini in 2nd, and side by side they're still going to try and get it sorted on the run into the roller coaster. Viori comes out in front. Miles pushed back to P4. His championship hopes tonight in tatters as our championship leader, our pole sitter, and our champion elect, Mr. Christian Perez, comes out of the final run through the hog pen, down the hill, on the run to the line. The only threat to his win tonight will be the draft as he leads Frattini for Team Oval Martine, who pulls alongside, but it's Christian Perez who gets the job done, does he? No, it's Frattini in the end. Frattini snatches the win on the death from the Team Astro champion, Christian Perez.
Alex,
sorry, mate.
0.005 of a second at the line.
Wow, there you go. How was that, eh? 0.0, what did you say, 7 or 1?
5.
0.005. Amazing stuff. That's Frattini's 2nd win of the season. Because he took out the Sonoma round. I think it was this season he took out the Sonoma round, which from memory was not only the highest strength of field this season, but the highest strength of field ever in Skip Barber history. But it's Perez coming into shot as we close this one out. who is the champion for this season. Took out Pole, which pretty much locked up the points this season, and then only needed to finish. Well, he barely needed to finish really in the points, but he advanced his point score by finishing in second. Gets 29 points, 30 if you count the pole, so he gets actually a couple extra points all up. And look at this, is the end of season finishing. These guys have driven hard all season. There's a great community around the skips at the moment. There's a tight-knit bunch of folks who come and join us each and every Sunday night, put on a great show. There's a bit of fluff and bubble and bluster and all the rest of it during the season at times, but when it all comes down to it, the racing is superb, as we saw in the closing stages of this one, and the camaraderie amongst the skips is forever strong. So let's leave the boys with it for the time being, and we'll grab a look at the final results for the season. Or for the final race of the season, I should say at least. Dario Fantini takes out his second ever Sunday Night Lights victory here for FPM Oval Matine. Strong performance from Dario, who's had good pace here this week. He took it out by 5/1000 is the official time there. From season champion, two-time champion now for Astro Racing Team, Mr. Christian Perez. Rasmus Fiori returns to the podium positions on his return to Sunday Night Lights. The Finnish driver finishing in third. Adam Miles, who took out 3 races this season, was not enough with his 4th place position here tonight, seeing him finish second in the championship overall. 5th place tonight was Captain 499 for Respectful Hornets, Mr. Neil Gardner, who, if I'm not mistaken, top 5 finish sees his best result in his championship racing here on a Sunday night. Vasco Sorowski, the head clown for Team Clowns, has finished in P6 and a good, solid point scoring position ahead of the other FPM Oval Matine driver, Mr. Dimitri Philippides, the international man of mystery, finishing 7th. Alex Steinbrucken, we'll get it right one day, maybe. Team Baracus, he finishes in 8th, ahead of Xavier Sanchez from Iberia in 9th. Brett McBurney from McFlabby Racing has finished all the way down in 10th, ahead of Alex Hurte from Iberia in 11th. Chris Wayne for Gone Skipping Racing in 12th. Rounds out your SNL point scoring positions ahead of Brian Perez from Missed Apex Professionals on his SNL debut. Gerald Draper, UK and I, similarly on debut tonight, finishes down in 14th, where we find our Clown Milo Sandwich. 15th tonight, Mark Lay for Team Clowns, just ahead of 16th position in Russell Clark III, who is, of course, the Team Milo boss man. And 17th tonight, rounding out our finishes, is the final clown in the field, Mr. Greg Adams. Corey, that is about how they all finished. And what racing. I mean, this track can be wildly unpopular in terms of participation, but the racing tonight just told us what it is all about.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And, you know, our top split skippy drivers, they do this on every track that we go visit. Doesn't matter how popular or unpopular the track is, the racing action that our top split drivers put on is phenomenal. No matter whether it could be, you know, the little triangle at Knockhill, these guys could make a massive race out of it and put on an absolute spectacle like they did here tonight. The racing action was absolutely all on point from start to finish. And we saw a 4 wide, which, you know, we don't normally see that on tracks that aren't the Nürburgring Nordschleife or aren't the Circuit de la Sarthe, the Le Mans track. So these guys are just absolutely nuts. And, you know, I love coming here each and every single week. And just being able to watch the races, let alone commentate on them, is definitely an experience in itself, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Look, 4 wide anywhere in the skips is brilliant. You don't see it in terribly many series, that's for sure. But, yeah, brilliant run here tonight. Now, we've got a few in the green room. We might bring them up in finishing order, which puts Mr. Perez in first. Congratulations, Christian. You got done on the line there. But what tonight's result did do with the pole position and then your second, but it was more importantly the pole, mate, you locked up the series. Congratulations, season 30 champion, Mr. Christian Perez. How do you feel, mate?
Hello. Super happy. It was just a strange race because the crash was not possible. So try to get the point of pole from Adam, and then in a little bit fighting, but with very carefully, and then just try to fight for the win. Dario took it from 500, I think, or five.
5,000s,
It was
yeah.
five. Yeah. So congrats to him, and of course to Adam and Tim.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Our podium for this season is yourself, I think, by Adam, and then Tim Hendrickson, who of course wasn't here tonight, but certainly put on a strong performance throughout the season. But for yourself, mate, two-time SNL champion now. I think that puts you pretty close to the overall as well. I'd have to check, but very strong performance, mate. And you say you were taking it easy in terms of the racing, but I'm pretty sure 4 wide into turn one on the last corner isn't exact on the last lap doesn't really qualify as taking it easy, mate. That was pretty spectacular, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I have hot blood. So last lap, it is last lap. And I will try to win.
Yeah.
But I thought I had it, eh? Well, the Dario in the. I thought I had it, but well, it is okay. We are the four in the top four. We really know what we are doing, and if there is any contact or so, it is purely because we are so close. So
Absolutely.
yeah, everything okay, and we can do for white. So
Yep,
no problems.
absolutely, mate. It was spectacular. I think the last time we saw 4 wide, it was at Interlagos with Benny Simonson was racing. So that's a very exciting feat, and we don't see it very often, let alone, here at VIR as well, mate. So, look, congratulations. Amazing season. Fantastic racing throughout. Fantastic racing here again tonight. 5/1000ths off the pole and the win. But certainly P2, nothing to sneeze at. Congratulations, mate. Anyone you'd like to thank after an amazing season?
Well, first of all, my team, and especially to Andrea Lucisano is having a bad time, and I really hope he get well very soon. And so probably this season is for him and his son.
Beautiful. All right. Our thoughts go out, of course. And congratulations to you and the team, mate, as always, representing Team Astro very well. So congratulations again, Christian. Look forward to talking to you again soon, mate.
Okay, ciao, ciao, guys. Thank you.
There you go, Corey. Christian Perez, two-time SNL champion now, and certainly enjoys his racing. And when it comes down to it, I typically back him in those tough situations, but Frattini just got him on the line tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. Frattini put in an excellent final corner there to make that run to the line, and the action there was just second to none. 0.005, 5,000ths of a second. That is just about nothing. I think it's literally just like a couple millimeters on a ruler. So these guys put in all the effort and push so hard for just those little thousandths of a second over each other, and it was in Dario's wheelhouse here tonight to get the win. But Christian Perez, our season champion, two-time winner, he's something else, isn't he? He just every season he comes and races with us. It's just crazy to watch him and just watch how good he is, because he is seriously one of the best that we've had participate with us.
Yeah, mate, did a fantastic job this season again, representing Team Astro sensationally. But now we're a little bit out of order, but we'll bring up the late coming into the green room, Mr. Dario Frattini. But he wasn't late. Well, he was. He left it to the last split second, 5/1000ths of a second to take out his second SNL win, mate. How do you feel? Good drive.
Oh, that was so close. It was so exciting. I thought we were actually doing turn 1 4 wide on the last lap. So, I mean, I don't know. It was just great. And I have no words.
Yeah, well,
It's just a lot of fun. I was a bit scared when I dropped to fifth. that I wasn't going to be able to overtake, but I guess it can be done from fifth. You still get a bit of a tow if you get a good exit out of the last turn. So I hope we put on a good show, and I can't believe I won by 5,000.
Mate, good show it was, and a really good a showcase really of both this track, which doesn't get a lot of praise a lot of the time, but also the category, mate. This is what Skippy Racing is all about. 4 wide into turn 1 and the final lap is amazing stuff. And for yourself, second victory. Sonoma this season, if I'm not mistaken, was the first one.
Yep.
And then so you've won the highest soft of all time, and then you backed it up with a win in the final race of the season, mate. So congratulations on an outstanding season this time around.
Happy about that.
Yeah, I can imagine, mate. Highlight of the season, I hope, for you will be those 2 races, and hopefully we'll see what happens next season with regards to the skips and everything. We hope to see you back again then, mate. Anyone like to give a shout out to tonight?
Just one last time, a big thank you to the whole community, and thank you to Adam for putting this track as the last track of the season. It really produced amazing racing. I mean, I always liked Virginia, but it actually went past my expectations. It was, I think, with the new rescan, the track's just a bit wider in some places, just make for better racing. I don't know. I loved it. So thank you to everybody. Thanks to you and Corey for one more season, 30th season of broadcasting. I haven't been around for a lot of it, but I think you must be proud of it.
Yeah, mate, we are. We, as we always say, mate, it's for the community, by the community. That's how we like it. And 30 seasons in the bank now. Really enjoy seeing and bringing the action to folks at home each and every week, mate. So congratulations again, and on your second win of the season. Look forward to talking to you again soon, mate.
Absolutely. See you next season.
Corey Darafitini, 2-time race winner now, to go along with our 2-time champion in Christian Perez. Fantastic racing here once again for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dario is one of those who's really been coming out of his shell this season as well, and coming in for interviews as well. It's great to see him out there and getting amongst it. And, he's going to be another one of those drivers to watch next season, because he'll be a force to reckon with. And, it's just exciting, The talent that we foster here, people, work so hard to get through the second split just to make it into the top split. And then once they make it there, they don't just stay there and, ride on their laurels. They take it and they make so much more out of it. And Frattini is one of those guys who has really been just getting out of his comfort a little bit, getting that little bit more aggressive and showing us what he's about. And I reckon next season he's going to be right up in there in the conversation for the championship.
Yeah, for sure, mate. He returned to skips after quite a long break, and then now that he's found his legs, he's starting to push forward and push the point at the top end of town. Now, we will grab our 4th place getter here tonight, Mr. Adam Miles. Of course, 4th tonight out on track, pushing for the win in the championship. Finishes 2nd, but, mate, some great racing out there tonight.
Yeah, that was really good fun. Bit of a shame. I didn't feel like I deserved 4th at the end of that one. I sort of thought I drove a really good race. Just missed out in qualifying as well. But a bit of fighting with Christian early on, and then it felt like he for a while thought about the championship more than the win. Sort of was very respectful, more respectful than he would ever normally be. And then it gave me a chance to fight with Dario for a bit, Rasmus for a bit, and then I just ended up in the wrong place on the track. I think at last lap, went into turn 1 leading, but on the outside, turned in. We were sort of 4 wide. Dario left a lot of room, and then just got shuffled back to P4 from P1. And yeah, just did all I could from there. But it was a great race. I just a little bit disappointed in the final result. Yeah,
I can imagine, mate. I think the pole was the big blow in terms of the championship overall. But then, can I tell you, can I compliment you as well? What I saw in the warm-up race tonight and again in the main race tonight was the showcase between, and it was primarily yourself actually, who would attack and defend on either side of turn 1, and it wasn't until the exit of sort of or the entry into the snakes at at turn 6 or the exit of turn 5 that the dice for position would end, and then again, and then in the main race we saw it briefly stop through the snake, and then before you hit the right hander at the uphill, you'd be defending once again. Real showcase of the strategy involved in how you position your car in a battle in the skips, mate. Well done.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean it's a great track. I like it actually a little bit more. It's a bit more intense than the the Grand Easts and the long courses where you sort of end the lap with a gigantic straight, and you're positioning yourself for some other place on the track other than the finish line. And I think actually with the slightly recessed finish line at this rescanned layout, it's a dice roll really as to whether you want to be P2 or P1 coming out the last corner as well. You can absolutely, if you nail the last corner from P1, you'll win. If you lose a tenth through the apex, the guy in P2 will win. I think it's the right sort of finish for a skippy race. I don't like to see them sort of decided with a gigantic slipstream on a straight other than the finish line. So it was really good. I think we've got one more visit to VIR next season, and hopefully there's still a good number of cars to come out and enjoy it.
Well, mate, if with racing like that, you think it'd be hard to pass up for a lot of folks. So here's hoping that we see that this fantastic racing continue. All right, mate. Listen, well done on the season. Couple of wins this season. I thought you were almost on for the third one here tonight, and it was all to play for in this last one. So
it was 3. You're stealing one.
Oh, I beg your pardon. It was 3. Yeah, you had the hat trick. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. It would have been Christian with 5 and then yourself with 4 if you'd got it done here tonight, which is a pretty outstanding result. But just one step short, which means we're back again to fight it out next season by the sounds of it. But congratulations, mate. Always good to talk to you. Anyone you'd like to shout out to tonight?
As always, yourselves for doing the broadcast. It's fantastic that you've been doing it for so long and the quality's so high. And then Christian, of course, just too good. I'm happy with getting as close to Christian as I did, but he's on another level when he turns it on. So congratulations to him on his 5 wins and the championship.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, Adam. Look forward to talking to you again soon, mate.
Thanks, Alex. Bye.
Yeah, Corey, Adam Miles, of course, the community rep for the Skip Barbers, and does a fantastic job there. And, this track, like I said so many times tonight, does get my line sometimes, but tonight, if tonight is any example, you can see what it really can produce on a good night.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. The racing action these guys put on tonight has just been absolutely incredible, and it just really goes to show the potential that this track has to put on really good racing. And just imagine if we had the full version of the track for the racing here tonight, there would have been an extra opportunity to see them try and make overtakes going into the roller coaster as well, coming out of Oak Tree, which doesn't have an Oak Tree there anymore, which I'm very sad about. But, this track has so much possibility for great racing, and these guys just always seem, no matter how good, bad, or indifferent the track is, to absolutely turn up the action and make something incredible happen on our screens.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Speaking of incredible action on our screens, let's bring up the head clown himself, who was also the leading clown, retained the title of head clown tonight, Mr. Vasco Sorowski, mate. Had your hands full there, but came out on top of that dice with your drivers around you there for P6 tonight, mate. Decent night out.
Evening, guys. Yeah, it was fun. It was good fun, actually. It was really good fun. Like all of them, we're always going to complain about quality, but doesn't matter. It was all same mistakes, and it's all mistake minimization. But those guys at the front, mate, even free wide and stuff, they still kept the pace going. I was watching the gap to Neil and the gap to them, and they were, even Neil was flying along, and they just didn't give the chance to get it to close up. So they did awesome. So congrats to all of them. Congrats to Dario winning and Christian the championship. Adam for all the stuff that he's done, and you got to give Neil a congrats for being up there in the P5. Yeah, and you guys, mate. That was the main reason I came in, to say congrats to you guys for everything that you have done. For the Skippy, and the season's been great, and you topped it off with a great night. I think everyone had a blast.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Thank you. Thanks to everyone out there on track tonight. 30 seasons into it now, and the racing's just getting better. We've had our strongest season ever, with an average strength of field well in excess of 5,500, which is just amazing in a category like this. and to see the quality just stretching forward each and every week. It's very satisfying to see the community standards grow like that from the racing perspective as well. So, and that's down to people like yourself, Vasco, turning up each and every week to support the series as well. And our thanks go out to everyone who gets out there on track each and every week. But well done tonight, mate. We've got a great shot of the clown pants there in the, in the clown car.
I think we have to come up with a new livery for next season, though, mate. This one needs a bit more anger involved or something.
Yeah.
I've got to get Justin's sprint car thing going on because he's done well on the weekend, so I've got to give him a shout out.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I've got to give Russell a shout out looking at your stream too because he's yelling for one. So there you go.
Yeah, that's it, mate. All right, congratulations, mate. Great driving out there tonight and a great season. Look forward to talking to you again soon, mate.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Thanks again for everything you've done very much.
No worries. Thanks, mate. All right, Corey, that's head clown Vasco Sorowski rounding out the interviews for tonight and pretty much rounding out the season, mate, which has been a great one. Like I said, it's been our most successful season ever in terms of the participation and the driving standards and the quality of the racing's just been outstanding. 30 seasons in, mate. Who thought it could get better?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And to think just a few seasons ago, you know, we were getting 4.5K soft on average, and we were thinking the exact same thing. How could it get any better than this? And, you know, at one point we weren't quite getting to those kinds of softs, and we were thinking, you know, maybe we should start throwing in the towel. And the community has just pulled together, and, you know, they just keep making the racing better. They keep making the softs better. And, you know, where can we go from here besides newer and bigger heights? I foresee in our future, Alex, it's going to be absolutely amazing. And, you know, what's one more season? Honestly, these guys deserve it. The community deserves it. And, you know, we've put in so much work for this, even though it just seems like just one day of broadcasting. You know, there's a little bit of research that goes into it. I'll watch a couple races throughout the week. Alex will participate and watch a few races throughout the week. And, you know, it's all to get a form guide for the Sunday night. And, you know, it's just incredible. The action that we see each and every single week, the people that show up, the regulars that show up every single week. You know, we wouldn't do it without anyone watching us. We wouldn't do it without anyone participating. And, you know, these guys just blow my mind every single season, Alex, with the new heights that we reach.
Yeah, mate, they do a fantastic job out on track. It's why we're still here. But that might do us for the night and for the season, as it turns out. Corey, you got anything coming up in the week, mate?
So on Wednesday, the Output Racing League will be hitting the Nashville Fairgrounds with the new cars. So that's going to be interesting. There's not actually a setup for the Nashville Fairgrounds in the next gen cars. So it's going to be a tight little bull ring with some big high horsepower cars with little to no downforce, which will always cause some kind of drama. And then on the weekend, I'm actually going to be very busy this weekend. I've got 2 nights of the Perth Motorplex, with it being the Western Australian late model title and also the retro round for the sprint cars on the Saturday night. So I'll be looking forward to those 2 events, and all the videos from those 2 particular events will be on the Speedway Memes Facebook and the YouTube channel.
Beautiful. All right, folks, that'll about do us for the season. Of course, you can check out this and all the other replays of 30 seasons worth of MNL and SNL history on the YouTube of the Top Split. It's our channel, of course. Make sure you hit like, thumbs up, subscribe, all those sorts of things. And, of course, once we've had the season break for Week 13, we will very much likely be back here on Top Split TV each and every Sunday night. Just got to figure out what it all looks like for Season 31. And, of course, the Top Split Discord is where the SNL community is, and all the news and views and all the latest things, scores and all that sort of stuff over there on the Discord. It's a great little community based around the skips. But for now, folks, that might just about do us. Thank you, everyone, for your great support throughout what has been our most successful season ever, Season 30 of Sunday Night Lights. Your support, as always, has been very much appreciated. Now, on behalf of the chaotic one, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar, and I will say ciao for now.